ready for me?
Ladies and gentlemen, wait, I want to give you a big intro. Hold on 1 second.
Oh no!
This is the most wonderful.
Take two.
We're around a piano. We're with a wonderful selection of people from all over Europe who have just seen Beauty and the Beast, and it feels only fitting that we have the man, one of the men involved, who've made us smile so much today. Please welcome the multi-Oscar winning, and all awards basically, the fabulous Allan Menken.
Masterclass time. How are you all?
Great, Allan. Lovely to see you.
Love to see you too.
Please sit and
Okay,
feel
I'll
comfortable,
sit.
and we'll lean and just be wonderfully
Who are these
entertained.
people?
These are fabulous influencers from all over Europe.
Okay.
Who have
great.
just seen your film.
It's good, isn't it?
I want to start by
excited.
asking you some questions, if that's okay. And please feel free to answer through music as well as words, if that's okay.
All right.
Coming from working on the original back in 1991 in Bill, bringing this animation to life with this new version of the film and bringing those tunes with it, but also asking you for new music. Can you tell us a little bit about that conversation that you guys had?
Yeah, I mean, when the idea came up, first I was excited because, hey, it's, we're going to do another movie and it'll be another payday. And okay, but what are we going to do that's new? And it really was this wasn't until Bill Condon came aboard, the director, and he had these ideas that were wonderful. And he's such a smart guy, and he loves musical theater, as well as musical films. He knows it so well. So he said, I think one of the things we need to do is we have more of a sense of 18th century, more of a sense of France. Which I said, yeah, we could really root it more in that reality, which would be great for live action. And then also, let's explore a little more of Belle's backstory and Maurice's backstory, what brought them to this town, and also the Beast's backstory, and what made him such a callous, cold person and beast. So that was the way into the songs, and thus we have that that moment like with at the top where Maurice is building this music box, and we have this little music box theme. How does a moment last forever? How can a story never die? I wanted to get Boulevard into that. This is love, we must hold on to. Never easy, but we try. So we were really killing two birds with one stone musically there for me, because I wanted to both do a music box and also feel a little more French. Français. And then the lyric there was really a lot of work went into the lyric of that, and then all the other future iterations of it, to have it be about those fleeting moments in our lives and how do we hold on to them, and we hold on to them through love. And then we got to finish the song, and then Celine Dion recorded it, which was so great. The second new song, which was one actually Tim Rice and I had started earlier, is that moment where the enchanted objects and the Beast and Belle are all turning in at night in the castle, and they're thinking about the days before the spell, days in the sun. And I was just looking for a kind of a children's, a kind of a lullaby. Days in the sun. Just a simple lullaby. And then finally, how many of you know the Broadway show of Beauty and the Beast? So you probably noticed, hey, what happened to If I Can't Love Her?
Yeah, where is it?
Okay. It's in the Broadway show. But it's in the Broadway show because a Broadway show is a 2-act structure. And how could we end that first act? And the strongest way was the moment where the Beast loses his temper, completely scares Belle. She runs away, and he goes, if I can't love her, who could I ever love? And Bill felt that really the more meaningful moment for this and more useful moment is the moment when he lets her go voluntarily, and he goes, I know what love is now. And because I love her, I'm going to let her go. And so I think of this song as kind of a cousin of If I Can't Love Her. I was the one who had it all. I was the master of my fate. Anyway, it was because I know we have a time situation. So those are the new colors that, you know, I think they're deeper colors, but I think with Be Our Guest and Something There and Gaston and Belle, you know, we have enough bright light colors too, and I think they work well together.
Is this how it starts for you? You have that conversation, you're thinking about it, and you just sit at the piano, and it just...
Well, no.
It.
I ask a lot of questions first. We all have to ask a lot of questions, you know. What's the vocabulary of the basic piece? Where's the song moment? How does this fit into the continuum of the score that was already been there? What's a song moment that's really going to be compelling? That we can set up with the scene leading into it and maybe dialogue within it? You wanted to always move everything forward. If we were going to put a song from somewhere else in the world into this spot, just what might that song be? And then I want my collaborator in the room. So we have all this discussion and all this information, and only then will I turn and then let my hands go in the direction of the piano.
You guys have just seen the film, so I'm assuming that some of you, a lot of you may well have questions as well. So please, if you do, just please stick your hand up and we'll get as many as we can in the time that we have. So does anybody want to start off? I mean, you already asked about the stage play. You're obviously a fan of that.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
You were speaking earlier about getting in the French mindset, but how did you get into the French mindset?
Well, it's not a mindset. It is a mindset to a degree. You know, foie gras, bibliothèque. It's the music of chanson. You know, I'm basically doing homages to all kinds of French music, and that's my way of bringing us into that world. Subtly, I don't want to do it overtly, but you know this. Thank heaven for a little girl. Of course, that's actually Lerner and Lowe, but let's not. But it feels French. And as you probably all know, I love working in styles. So it's just a matter of finding all those ins for that language, for that culture.
Any other questions from you guys?
I was going to say, speaking of French, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is one of my favourite.
Oh.
I would love to sing a tiny bit of Out There with you.
You are?
Oh, I like it.
Are you a tenor?
Yeah. Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people down below me. All my life I wonder as I hide and hover alone, hungry for the histories they show me. All my life I memorize their faces, knowing them as they will never know me. Wonder how it feels to pass the day, not above them, but part of them, and out there.
I'm assuming that's a dream come true.
That is a dream come true.
Listen to the title. We're actually opening that show in Berlin in April.
When you played it yesterday at the afternoon tea, I literally was in tears, like shaking.
Yeah, it's a very, very satisfying to me that I'm also getting that to the stage. It's really very satisfying.
Well, I think the thing as well is that now that, you know, with the reinvention of this film and this story and your music as well, it reminds people as well of this fabulous catalogue of wonderful music that you've brought us over the years.
Well, thank you.
Is it lovely for you to revisit those moments as well, for people to bring up certain things?
No, I love it. It's great. It's there's a generation that's grown up on my songs, and you know, when I play little things, things happen. Well, but you were all there, so you know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So since you're at it, a whole new world. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a nice one to write.
I see your face. face. It's lovely. You can you almost see your memory flip through.
They're all.
certain-
I can't play any of my songs without memories coming up. Absolutely. I remember, when I wrote each of these. When Howard Asher put Gaston in front of me, I was spit taking. I was, every lesson should be covered with hair, and I use antlers in all of my. That was so hilarious. And Howard was that. He beat up Gaston, totally beat him merciless, just like he did with the dentist in Little Shop. When I was younger, just a bad little kid. Howard was brilliant at that, and so but every one of the songs, when I go back to them, I remember sitting at the piano and playing writing with Stephen Schwartz or with David Zippel or any of my collaborators, Glenn Slater, Jack Feldman. I've had a lot of collaborators.
Were the collaborators with the actors on this particular film as well, and the different roles that are taken on by whether it be Emma and Dan and stuff? Is that quite a collaborative process for you as well? Do you get to work with them particularly?
I worked in the studio with them. But I have to say I'm blessed with a great music team. First of all, I was spending when this was filming, and the year before, I was chained to my studio. I did a TV series, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of, called Gallivant. And 60 songs over 2 seasons. And it was over actually 18 episodes. And I was, I so desperately wanted to come over, but I couldn't spare a day. So I was not able to make it over on the set. But I did come over to record the vocals.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a music team, and Michael Kozerin worked with the singers a great deal. There's Matt Sullivan, who's the music supervisor. Chris Benstead, just a wonderful team. So I do find that when I give notes to actors, sometimes it's a little terrifying for them, even though I'm not actually terrifying. But at least I don't think I am. But
Definitely not. Any other questions from you guys here as well?
Yeah, how about the singing of Emma?
How about
did you really sing, or did you do a lot of
she really sang.
extra things?
She sang.
Yeah?
She was nervous.
Yeah, of
To
course.
start with, she was whoa. It was terrifying. She's going into no pun intended, a whole new world. It's really, and so was Dan. It was, they hadn't done it before. But I think there's something really charming and beautiful about that as well. They really cut their teeth on these songs. And the actor really comes through, and listen, the proof is in the
But
is in
they're
the pudding.
such classic songs, so I really can imagine they're really nervous because
Everyone
everybody
knows them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody knows the songs.
I think they were really nervous, and my job was to, I could try to calm them down, but they luckily had their voice teachers and their coaches and the music team around them, and just give them lots of space to get it and make it your own. And they did.
Yeah.
Alan, what were the composers who inspired you when you first started getting?
What composers? When I first
When you started
growing up,
Yeah, who were the
Ludwig van Beethoven. Growing up, well, I loved. First of all, the first Disney movie that just blew my mind was Fantasia.
Yeah.
So, seeing all those animation sequences with classical music and the images, I never listened to classical music the same again. Everything always brought images now to me. So that's where it started. And then I grew up in a family that loved musical theater, so it was Rodgers and Hammerstein and Frank Lesser and Bach and Harnick and Lerner and Lowe. And then, of course, came the 60s, and like everyone else, it was the Beatles and the Stones and Bob Dylan. And in film scoring, John Williams, Maurice Jarre, Tommy Newman he's a younger generation, but he's so good. And then there's the younger generation now that's fantastic, like Bobby Lopez and Kristen Ennis Lopez and Lin-Manuel Miranda and this new team, Pasek and Paul,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, who all these young guys, these teams, I knew these people when they were younger. When they were at University of Michigan, I kept hearing about, Pasek and Paul. I go, well, good luck to them. But they're so sweet. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, I knew of when he was a little kid because he went to school with my niece. I used to sign posters to him because he loved Little Mermaid so much. And then In the Heights and then Hamilton.
Fantastic.
And Bobby Lopez, I wrote his recommendation letter for college.
Wow.
Go figure.
I am. When you see the kind of way what Bill's done with those classic songs as well from the original. I mean, Be Our Guest and how he's brought that to life in this film. I mean, I think it's such a
Bill is
showpiece. It's
amazing.
wonderful. How does it make you feel to see your music, you know, a second time round on film? Kind of
Relieved?
yeah.
I'm so relieved.
You're getting paid.
What'd you say? What?
You're getting paid again.
Well, okay. Give me 5, babe. No. It's not about the money. No. Well, I said it. But I'm relieved because it's a dangerous thing to take on something that's so beloved and do it again. I mean, now we're going to be doing Aladdin. We're going to be doing, apparently, because they've been announced. So, I hear about it when they announce it. Nobody, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, a sequel to Enchanted. No, I cried a lot during watching the movie. It was really emotional and really good. I feel so grateful to the team that was, you know, part of this.
Emma Thompson's version of Beauty and the Beast, that got me. That was just, what did you guys think? Yeah?
Emma, she's so lovely. When we did a first read-through of the script, which was great, we got to do that, and I flew over, and the whole cast was there, and people just said, just read the lines, don't worry about the songs, and it got to Beauty and the Beast, and Emma Thompson said, if you don't mind, I'd really like to sing it. And she got up and sang it. It was so lovely.
Wow. You guys got any more questions?
Wait, do you like more musicals or movies?
You mean stage musicals or movies?
Like performances
Theatre
from
musicals.
Aladdin or like the movie Aladdin?
I like them both.
Yeah.
I can't. Both mediums are beautiful, are wonderful, and they're both fun to work in and also a lot of work to work in. And you know, I could spend hours just talking about what the advantages and disadvantages are. You know, that you have so much more of an audience feedback with a live musical. You're really writing to that audience. You don't get that. You don't get nearly that opportunity with film. Now you're getting the reaction of test audiences and a lot of executives. So sometimes you don't know what you have necessarily. But then, my God, these 100-piece orchestras, and like, you know, now these days on Broadway, if you get a 12-piece orchestra, you're lucky. So it's a lot of trade-offs either way. But I think of myself like an architect, you know. I'm designing a house. And if you want to put the house on a mountain, it'll, you know, you make some adjustments, you live in it. You want to put it in a desert, you live in it. But other people are going to live in it. I just design it.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm wondering, is there a lot of songs that you wrote that finally were not used for movies?
Of course.
And do you keep them in a
Tons.
secret
Well,
place?
okay, well, for Hercules, no, instead of Go the Distance, we originally had No One Seems to Think Too Much of Me, and I'm glad to, and they're glad to tell it to my face, and they're right, I'm not supposed to be here, I'm completely out of place. Sometimes as I da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm forgetting lyrics, and as I try to sing it through, there's a bolt from the blue, and I see my shooting star set apart from all the rest, while the other stars are standing still, he's on a quest. Every night my shooting star darts across the twilight sky, 'cause he knows he doesn't quite fit in, and he's longing to know why. And then we ended up going to it was just a little too gentle.
The late Stephen Gately recorded that for here.
Yes, I know,
For the
I know,
soundtrack,
I
yeah.
know. There's also this song that we wrote for Aladdin that never got in until the Broadway show. Proud of you, boy. I'll make you proud of you, boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, Ma, you're in for a pleasant surprise. I've wasted time. It had been lost completely. And it was just people were doing it at auditions, and that was it. And then, you know, its time came. but sometimes, you know, the time doesn't come for certain songs. And after Howard passed away, I wrote a song for Aladdin. Hey, don't be looking down that way. It's Aladdin sings to Abu. Cause I da 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 da. Anyway, this is yes. The answer is yes. There's a ton of songs that don't make it for every song that does make it. And the trick is, don't ever fall in love with your own material. Just let it go. Just throw it out. If you need to throw it out, and move on.
You got a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to ask you your favourite song ever, because that's probably like asking you
My
your
worst
favourite child.
question ever.
But if you had to choose a top 3, what would you pick?
Oh, you stop. You gotta stop.
I know. It's
I'm
tough.
sorry. Ask me another question.
Okay, I'll think of another.
Okay. Because I can't. They're my children. Again,
I know.
I can't.
Different day as well, different song. It's kind of, yeah.
Are there any that you wrote at a
Okay,
certain...
how about the songs I like to perform the most?
There you go.
Perfect.
I love to perform King of New York from Newsies. Do you know that song? A pair of new shoes with matching laces, permanent box at the Sheep's Head races, porcelain tub with boiling water, Saturday night with the mayor's daughter. Look at me, I'm the King of New York. Suddenly, I'm respectable, staring right at you, lousy with stature, coming with all the marketing mucks, blowing my dough and going deluxe, and there I be, ain't I pretty? It's my city, I'm the King of New York. I love performing. Little shop. It's just they're all part of a mosaic.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, good answer.
Thank you.
Any other questions from... You look like you've got
I
another
do.
one. Yeah, go for it, go.
Well, just quickly before I ask
No
the
more
question.
asking him to sing with you, but
Little,
just...
Little Shop of Horrors is my favourite musical of all time. So
Which is?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't actually realise that you were involved in, that you wrote music for it till like a couple of days ago.
Oh.
I was really
Okay.
like, add that to the Disney list.
Yeah, that was. Well, Howard Ashman was my second musical. Our first was called God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. Anyway.
But my question is, with Celine Dion coming back and Josh Groban singing the new Beast song,
My two
were you
favourite
involved
singers.
in the recording process of the songs?
No. Well, I was actually texting with Josh as he was in the studio. Josh is now on Broadway in a show called The Great Comet. I haven't seen Celine since the Oscars for Beauty and the Beast. We actually haven't been in touch.
Oh my God.
But at the time, I remember seeing Celine and Renee. It's so sweet, and the relationship was so sweet. And I think one thing about that song, how does the moment last forever? How does the story never die? I think was greatly affected by her having just lost Renee. She's a deeply sweet person. She really is. And so, God, the talent, her talent, and Josh Groban. Oh my God.
I've still not heard Josh's version of it yet because it's not been released. There's
It's-
only like 10 seconds of it that was released the other day as a teaser, and I was just like,
Okay. Well, was it a good 10 seconds?
it was incredible.
Have you heard his recording of If I Can't Love Her?
Yeah.
So good. He's
What
really-
about our friends on this side of the piano? You've been quite quiet. Anyone got any questions around here? No?
Did
Totally
you-
shy.
Did you always know this is what you wanted to do? Like you said, you come from a family that are fans of musical theatre. Was it a very musical family? Have you
Well, it was
been brought up
musical,
playing
but my
piano?
dad, all the men in my family were dentists. All of them. My grandfather was a dentist. My father was a dentist. My father's brother was a dentist and an orthodontist. My mother's sister's husband was a dentist. My father's sister's husband still is a dentist. My cousins were dentists.
Wow.
So I thought, I guess I'm going to be a dentist. But then I went to college and I had to go to all those classes, and I went, what? I hate this.
Oh, so you did start. You did start.
Oh, like a week in. Yeah, that was it. Bye. No, I wanted to be. I always wanted to be a composer. I also was not somebody who really practiced hard or was like so super ambitious. I was a normal, lazy kid, but I loved music. Just transported me.
Did you train kind of classically?
Yeah, I did.
Grades and all that kind
but
of stuff?
I used to fake it. I would have the first bars of a Beethoven sonata, and I would just bang it up for the rest of the hour. And my parents go, well, he's practicing, and the teacher says, well, he's not learning anything except the first bar. So they finally confronted me and said, well, I'm making it up. I said, really? Why don't we encourage this?
That's really. I've got an 8-year-old son who's just starting to be intrigued by the sounds that come out the piano and making little melodies and stuff. What would your advice be to young people who are finding music for the first time?
Well, first of all, let them play and have fun with it, as well as, you know, learn as well. But definitely just let your imagination go into the music, and make it your own. That's what's important, is that you feel that when you're playing at the piano that it's an extension of you and it's an extension of your imagination. And don't let your fingers be a limitation, you know. Okay, so you make a mistake, but just go and play and enjoy. And yes, and learn. It's good to learn too.
Has it always been the piano?
I played piano, I played violin. I was concertmaster at my school orchestra, but I was not very good with it. Then when the 60s hit, I used to do ragas on the violin. I actually, you know, I was a hippie, you know, like my generation, on the street corner going, yeah. I played guitar. But guitar, piano, and violin. But piano is keyboard, because now I'm sure you all are doing like digital pianos and MIDI technology and stuff like that. Wow, that stuff's so great.
Any other guys with questions right here? These guys are all shy on this side. Go, yeah, of course.
Is there a difference in composing for animation and live action? And
In terms of what I write or how I write?
yeah, in terms of
What?
is there a difference?
There's no, okay, yes, there's a difference in terms of the process. There's no difference really in terms of the what, except if it's Disney animation, you know, there's certain lyrics you might not want to put into something because it does skew to a younger audience, even though I think of it as a broad universal audience. Still, there are things you're going to go, eh. You know, we put in lyrics from Howard Ashman in Gaston in the movie that weren't in the animated and weren't even in the Broadway show. When I hunt, I sneak up with my quiver. Beasts of the field say a prayer. Then I carefully aim for the liver. You know, and I shoot. Is that fair? I don't care. That's so Howard. Yeah, and of course, you know, in animation, you're dealing with these storyboards, and every second is going to be animated, and you're discussing every second. It's very different in live action films. It's me and the director certainly working on the content, but it's not that same kind of intricate, in the moment, back and forth with like the equivalent of sketch artists, let's say. And then there's stage, and stage, writing for stage is very different because, you know, on the stage there's no close-up. So in a film where you would have a close-up of someone's face and see, oh, he loves her. You're not going to see that on the stage. That's a song. So, you know, that's why there tends to be a lot more songs on a stage musical.
And then what about score? When it's, you know,
Underscore.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say at the beginning of the process of a film, I'm the king. I'm writing. We are the king. You know, me and my collaborator. We're really how would you want to structure where the song goes, and we're quite on top of things. Then years later, basically the director has already put in the whole temp score. So at the end, I start with the king, start as the king, I end up sort of as the maid. You know, okay, all right, you want it in that style? Great, okay, whatever you want. And the director is the last, definitely, he's the last voice on that one.
Do you find score, is it harder then, would you say?
Just different. It's like micro and macro, in a way. You know, writing songs is real macro experience. Writing a score could be very micro in that, okay, so from here to there, I'm going to be holding tension, but then here I'm going to be adding a big swell up and then wow and off, and then, you know, so I'll be in my studio with the film imported now into my program, and going literally sometimes microsecond by microsecond to make a hit at just the right spot. So.
Do you think of kind of character themes as well, so that with certain films there are characters who,
of course,
who you will write themes for that come and go throughout the film?
Yes, and there's a wide variety of what directors want. Some directors say, be thematic. I really want to hear that theme again right here. Others directors will say, I don't want my ear to be pulled. Just give me, you know, a carpet of chords here for it. Just really, And I understand that. There's there are different styles of film underscore.
But is it really a discussion, or is it like the director tells you they want a carpet of notes and you're just like, okay? Or are you like, I feel this needs a little bit more?
I could say I feel it, but it's understood that the director is the boss at that point. That's how it works. The producer, the director, the composers, treated with a lot of respect, but I'm one of the trades. At that point, I'm like the lighting designer or the cinematographer or costumer, whatever it is.
You mentioned Little Mermaid and Aladdin, and obviously for this, 3 new songs. How far are you into working or thinking about those?
I'm not thinking about it because I haven't met the directors of those movies yet. And I think with Aladdin, there isn't a director yet. I mean, with Mermaid, there isn't a director yet. With Aladdin, they've announced a director, and I have no idea yet, what we'll be doing. But, I've got to walk a line. I want to be the keeper of the flame, but I don't want to be the person that goes, oh, God, I don't want the guy in the room because he's going to stop me from doing what I... So I have to, you have to...
Yeah.
You have to dance with, with your collaborators.
How did you feel when you saw the finished film for the first time?
For the first time, before it was, it wasn't
it's hard,
finished.
I guess, because you see it in
actually,
stages,
technically,
yeah.
I'm not going to see that till tonight.
Whoa!
I've seen it, almost finished,
and
I've been, blown away. But no, there's still changes that have been happening, mix and in adding, the Josh Groban, whatever it is. I'm going to see that tonight. Yeah.
You guys are ahead of him.
You're ahead of me.
Yeah, go.
At the beginning of the new film, the magic of the music kicks in straight away with that really famous da-na-na-na-na-na. Could you play a bit of that for us? I love that so much.
Well, as I said, that was the temp music that the director had in the film was Carnival of the Animals. And he just loved it. And he said, "Oh, we just use that." No, I don't want you to use that. I want to write the music. Thank you. But I kept coming back with music that I felt was in keeping with the rest of the score, and he loved it. So finally I said, okay, I'm going to give you that. Sometimes limitations are our best friend. And so yes, that's what really brought that piece of music to life.
Any other questions? Yes.
About limitations.
About
limitations.
You seem like you are a legend. But I wonder if you are human at all. I mean, have you ever had the blank page syndrome or?
Have I ever had what?
The
blank page.
Yeah.
Only when it's a bad assignment, I get the white page syndrome because I go, what is there to write? Sometimes if there's somebody, if you're dealing with somebody who doesn't know what they want, with the song from Tangled, I kept throwing ballads and ballads and ballads and ballads and ballads for that moment when Rapunzel and Flynn are in the boat, and finally I said that they wanted something really sweet and gentle. So I kept seeing fireworks. What's the song? Yeah. All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in, all that time never even knowing just how blind I've been. And they go, oh, I like that. Okay, I'll write that. Because then we had in a blaze of light, all these songs. I thought, that's great, but sometimes people are not expressive about what they want. So you just got to give them a lot of choices. But I don't really get blocked, creatively. I mean, to me, it's the most fun. Unless I'm, maybe feeling really tired or depressed or something. It does happen. Very occasionally, very seldom, but.
I just wanted to say, it's not a question, but I wanted to say I have to thank you for writing I See the Light, because it was the song that me and my girlfriend,
Easy.
we met, the first time we met, we ended up singing that song to each other, and that was like our first sort of bonding thing, and it's sort of been a staple throughout our relationship.
I'm
that
so
song.
happy to hear that.
Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's good. I'm gonna stop before I get emotional, but thank you for writing that song.
Well, thank you for telling me that.
Well, listen, we've got this wonderful setup. We might have a couple of special guests that we could welcome. Should we give a round of applause to Luke Evans and Josh?
Nice to see you. Hello, Mr. Menken. Hello, sir.
We've created a lovely space for you both over there, if that's okay.
You're the future. Hi. You guys all look 12 years old. This is an incredible influence.
Guys, can I stay over there? If you can't, please. No, you can both stay there.
We'll both stay here.
Both over there in that lovely space. Can I say, first of all, huge congratulations.
Thank you.
They've all seen the film this morning. I saw
liked
it. It's amazing. You guys are brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, look at you've already taken your spot. You're like that. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
We're ready.
What are we getting?
Can we get an E flat? Can we do an E flat?
What are we going to get? What are we getting?
We are going to give you a bit of the Gaston song.
Well, it's going to be, okay, now look. They haven't sung it since the movie, and they probably never sang it straight through to begin with.
I sing it every morning.
Other than every day since. Yes.
Oh, also, wait. He's in it. Gaston's going to take some of who's You'll never mind. Doesn't matter. You don't care.
Sorry,
He's
been demiked.
Oh, I don't need a mic, baby. I got
You have volumes for days.
That note was insane. That was amazing.
That's no warm up.
Wow.
I gotta warm this up and see what she gives.
Straight in there.
What she gives in the mask, love in the mask. Sorry.
Move around a bit. We need to be more. Do you want me to stand there or you stand? No, because you need to see it.
Okay, I'll stop. Hold on.
We'll
stop. If you guys want to join in, feel
Good.
no. Ready?
There we go. Good.
No.
2 seconds. Just gonna. There we go.
Just get back to. We've been outside.
There we go.
They want to join in.
Good. Oh, are you guys gonna join in? This will be fun.
We need to be there. There's a camera on us.
Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Gaston, looking so down in the dumps. Every guy here loved to be you, Gaston, even when taking your lumps. There's no man in town as admired as you. You're everyone's favorite guy. Everyone's awed and inspired by you. And it's not very hard to see you
Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's next as incredibly thick as Gaston, but there's no man in town half as manly. Perfect, a pure paragon. You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose tune they prefer to be on.
Who plays darts like Gaston? Who breaks hearts like Gaston?
Who's much more than the
Some of his parts like Gaston. As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating. My, what a guy like Gaston! I needed encouragement. Thank you, LeFou.
Well, there's no one as easy to bolster as you.
No one fights like Gaston. Thousands like Gaston.
In no wrestling match, nobody fights like Gaston.
When I hotly sneak up with my quiver, and beasts of the field say a prayer. The aim for the liver, and I shoot from behind.
Is that fair?
I don't care. No one hits like Gaston, matches wits like Gaston.
In a spitting match, nobody spits like Gaston.
I'm especially good at expectorating. Point for Gaston. I was glad I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a
like Gaston, entertains like Gaston.
Can make up these endless refrains like Gaston. I use antlers in all of my decorating. Say it again. Who's a man among men? And then say it once more. Who's that hero next door? Who's that super success? Don't you know? Can't you guess? Has his friends and his 5 hangers on. There's just one guy in town who's got all of it done.
And his name's G-A-S-T-E. I believe there's a silent R in there as well. Gaston. Is it too late for that?
I know. Well, that was amazing.
I know.
Did you guys have as much fun as we did watching you being part of this whole fun? Because watching it just looked like the best experience.
Can you imagine doing that for a whole 3 days, every day, and then adding like dancing to it, had a big group of villagers. It was very, very special. Very, very special.
Yeah, I mean, it was the most, other than just now, it's the most fun I've ever had. No, we did. Look, I was 10 years old when the movie came out. I remember seeing it in a theater, and I remember distinctly the sensation of watching an audience in a kid's movie erupt with applause at the end of these numbers. That was really unusual. Like, you didn't see that. That was like Little Mermaid sort of started that, and then Beauty and the Beast was like, mic drop, we're back with a vengeance. And that was the brilliance of Menken and Schwartz. And now to Ashman and working on another project.
Schwartz is great.
That was the brilliance of Ashman and Menken and Schwartz from a distance. So
we love Schwartz.
We love Schwartz. But my experience now coming full circle, doing these songs and having my own daughters who are able to experience it for the first time, and hopefully this will be the version for them, just like the '91 version was for us. That's a cool part.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
Thank
Our
you
pleasure.
guys for being
It's nice to
here.
sing it again.
Yes.
Can we have a massive round of applause, please, for Allan? Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Can you play?
Out there.